My father humiliated me in front of everyone but his Navy SEAL protégé. Quietly said Black Widow, "My name is Jane and I am a 26-year-old soldier living in a small apartment in New York. This is a story about the time my father publicly shamed me and how a stranger helped me stand up for myself. The words 'I'm ashamed of her' were like a grenade in the community center. My father's voice an edged blade from years of giving commands. He did not need to shout. His military way of speaking quieted the room like a sergeant's glare. People turned their heads. Plastic cups paused in midair, and the buzz of small-town talk died down. This was supposed to be a calm get-together full of laughter and the scent of barbecue. Instead, it felt like my public execution. The people in the room were a mix of familiar faces, retirees wearing old military hats, churchgoers fanning themselves, and teenagers sneaking treats. I had expected some tension, but not a public spectacle. It had been years since I had seen my father. My letters to him were returned with only a few words or not at all. Yet here we were, breathing the same air. His eyes found me as soon as I walked in and his face tightened. He waited for the room to fall silent, then delivered his judgment. "I'm ashamed of her." The following silence crushed me, my face burning as I tried to hold back tears. Then, to make things worse, he turned to a man next to him, a lean man with sharp eyes and a tense posture. He gripped the man's shoulder. "This," he announced, his voice full of pride, "is a man who serves. A ranger, one of the best." The crowd mumbled and nodded their eyes on the stranger. My father's lips curled not into a smile but a smirk of victory, as if he had erased my existence. "This is my pride, not her." Should have walked away and ignored the moment like a bruise. But my eyes met the ranger's. His calm broke and his face went pale. His lips parted, and in a voice so low, it was almost a whisper but sharp. Enough to be heard, he said, "Are you the ghost of the ops?" The words were like a spark in the dark, causing whispers throughout the room. An old soldier's hand tightened on his cane. A woman's fan stopped moving. My father's smirk faltered, his eyes darting around nervously. He didn't know the story behind that name, the tales shared in military bases. He didn't know the shadow I had cast in places he had never been. The atmosphere in the room changed. It was no longer his space, but mine. To explain why a ranger would look so shocked at my name, we have to go back to a home where rules were more important than love, and where I was the daughter he never wanted. My father taught me discipline, not dreams. At 8, he would make me stand up straight on the porch, telling me weakness bends, his breath smelling of engine oil and instant coffee. Our town admired him, a retired major, a well-known figure with his name on the Legion Hall's donor wall. But at home it was like a military camp, and his praise was only for the son he wished he had. My mother, on the other hand, quietly went against him. She would slip me notes with inspiring poems and whisper, "Some battles need patience, not strength." When I was 18, I told him I was applying to the Army's officer program. He just laughed, stirring his coffee. "You're not built for it," he said, meaning my body, not my spirit. I applied secretly, writing my essays by flashlight. When the acceptance letter came, he glanced at it, gave it back to me, and said, "Don't embarrass me." He didn't even go to my commissioning ceremony. The Army didn't welcome me. It challenged me. Fort Benning shaped me with hard work and training, teaching me to move like a part of a machine that never rests. I did not try to become a ranger, as those paths were closed to me, but I found my place in operations and intelligence, where plans are the core of survival. At Camp Darby, I supported elite teams. My desk was the center for information and signals. I learned to hear the small shake in a voice or the static in a radio call and change plans before things went wrong. My reports were concise and my routes were flawless. The team called me Ghost, not because of violence, but because I could see what others missed. The trap in a shadow or the calm before a storm. In one dusty village, I noticed a scout's hesitation and redirected a patrol, saving them from an explosive that was never officially reported. The team came back safe, and they would tap my desk twice before a mission. It was a ritual built on trust. Ghost's work, they would say, saves us from trouble. My father never asked about my work. My emails were returned unopened. My mother's voicemails were the only thing that kept us connected until she passed away from a long illness. Her last words were, "Rise, don't run." At her memorial, he folded the program into a perfect square, his eyes dry. Back at my base, I added a line to every plan: "Who guards a guard?" It saved lives and minds, not just men. The nickname Ghost spread, becoming a whisper among other operators. I didn't seek fame. I built systems that brought soldiers home safely in the community hall. The ranger named Torres spoke again. Major, she saved us in Helland. The room became completely silent. My father's jaw was tight. She's just a planner, he said, trying to regain control. Torres shook his head. She is the reason we are alive. A woman who used to be my debate coach added, You never told me, Tom. The air changed as everyone processed the information. I stepped forward. It's not about titles, I said. It's about who comes back home. A retired man stood up with his hand on his chest. Others followed. My father's shoulders fell, his perfect world falling apart. Later at his house, he poured me a cup of coffee. His voice was low. I didn't see, he admitted. I didn't look, I replied. But I'm here now. He nodded, not asking for forgiveness, but finally seeing me. Back at the base, Torres sent me a message. Did you save us, Ghost? He asked. I typed back, We all came home. My work continues, threading respect into every plan I make. The video ends here, but your mission starts now. Hit that subscribe button before the ghost hits you first.